today.
Now, following the interception, this offense will get another shot at it as they'll quickly head back onto the field. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The numbers for him from a week ago: 19 carries, 61 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
Here we go, Shaq. Cowboy 80.
They'll run on first down. Swift still fighting, and he's going to get this inside the 30.
48 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, this defense for the Bengals, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it's enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
We're scoreless after 1.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. On the handoff, this is Swift. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? to his right. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys are first out of the scoreboard here this afternoon. They've already been on record as saying, hey, if our rookie The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll come out throwing here on first down.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
And going deep downfield for Boykin.
And that's caught inside the 35. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there for Detroit.
Prime example there of how his height can be an advantage. It makes it tough on some of these smaller defensive backs.
When they try and go through that type of a receiver to get the football, oftentimes that big body, that frame will block them away. And whether the receiver has to elevate or extend, now he has a clear path to the football with the defender usually on his back.
And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield as you...
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Going deep here for Bryant. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Hunter Bryant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions on just 2 plays have taken the lead. He put quite a bit of air underneath that. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And the tackle there by Jermaine Pratt.
Good solid gain on 1st down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Set. 19, Tiger. 19, Tiger.
Now back to throw. And this one's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Here comes the Lions punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And it's fielded at the 34. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 50. So we are in the final minute now of the first half as this offense gets ready to take over. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now a nice throw here right side. He holds it in. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a carry for Swift. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 81 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Swift. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he is going to have a Lions 1st down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
70 Lions. Go. 24 is the mic.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
And returning right back to Boykin.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 9 now. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Tyrell Williams. His 3rd touchdown now on have broken our tie as they take the lead. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They're going to look to throw. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the fourth quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. He'll drop to throw. They're going deep downfield for Boykin. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
24 is the mic. You got to get the ball. Get the ball.
Back to throw now on first down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown.
That's the way to get a guard, boy.
Tyrell Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Lions add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a... The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all of their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Both offenses have been clicking in this one. A lot of points on the board. We'll see if that trend continues. Now it's Swift. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as he'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
From the gun, here's Swift.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Baby, that's baby shot. 24 is the mic. You can't block me. You can't block me.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will hit the road next week to take on